Studio lights on. This is the HomePod Gen 2. Now this is almost identical to the last generation of the HomePod, which by the way was discontinued 2 years ago. So the launch of this product actually comes as a surprise. I've got two here because I've been testing the stereo sound from the new HomePod. And while at the outset it looks the same, there are a lot of changes on the outside as well as the inside of the HomePod that makes it really exciting. Now, every time Apple launches a HomePod product, I get really excited because I absolutely love this speaker. I have at least tens of the original HomePod and multiples of the HomePod Mini because they make so much sense if you have a lot of rooms, and we have them all over the studio as well as I have them all over my house. They not only allow you to have multi-room music, but also allow you to control certain elements. If you have a smart home setup, especially with the kind of hardware that I have, I can control a lot of things with these speakers. Now, if you look at the outside, the footprint is the same as the first generation of the HomePod. So what's different? The base is different. They've removed the marking sole because it was leaving HomePod circle on the desk. This one doesn't do that apparently. And you've also got a detachable cable, which is more apparent this time around. In fact, Apple ships this device with the cable already removed. So they want you to know that that is an option, where previously you had to really yank on it. It would come off, but you had to yank on it. On the inside, Apple has upgraded the subwoofer. You also have the new S7 chip. The subwoofer now moves quite a lot, so you get a really nice quality of bass. The bass is not only deep, but it's also very pristine with respect to the distortions at the higher end and at the extreme low end. It's been really cleaned up, so you get a really nice sounding bass from this speaker. It's also different are the arrangement of the tweeters at the bottom. So you have a lesser number of tweeters, but the overall sound is much more improved. In fact, you hear a lot of small subtle things that you would miss out in the first generation of the HomePod. Those are apparent in this generation of the HomePod, which is excellent as far as sound quality is concerned. They've also reduced the number of microphones for pickup, but I believe that this HomePod has a much longer pickup range. So while they may have reduced some hardware on the inside, the newer generation or the newer quality hardware is slightly improved from the previous generation. So not only are you getting a better sound output, you're also getting better microphone pickup. As far as music is concerned, this does have an impressive soundstage. It is much wider, and like I said, bass is aplenty. If you put these in a stereo setup, which also is really easy to do, setting these up right out of the box is a breeze, and you can do it almost instantly. You do require an Apple device, which is a little bit of a bummer, but they don't want to keep this in the ecosystem. So if you do have an iPhone, an iPad, you can easily set these up, and after you've set these up, they work almost instantly. Now, iOS 16.3 or HomePod OS 16 has been a little bit of a flaky mix of issues, and if you want to control your lights or even your smart home devices, HomePods have had a lot of trouble with the newer generation of the operating system. And just a couple of days back, they pushed out an update that basically resolved all the issues that I've had over the past couple of months. And I recently had an issue where I had to basically delete all my home devices and reset them. And when you have over 100 devices, that can be a real big problem. Thankfully, all of that is fixed, and I hope that it doesn't happen in the future because it was a bundle of mess. And you can go into forums and Apple discussion forums as well, where people have been complaining about the HomePods and the HomePods Minis not responding properly to their requests. It also does have a newer hardware on the inside, so you do have a temperature sensor as well as a humidity sensor, which by the way was in the HomePod Mini as well, but nobody knew about it. They activated that with the new update. So you can now have temperature-based automations or humidity-based automations where you can turn on your fan or dehumidifier depending on what your settings are. What's the temperature inside?
It's 22.2 degrees Celsius.
Also pair them up with an Apple TV. So if you have two of these in a room, an Apple TV will automatically detect it and ask you if you want to use the HomePods as a speaker. This feature has been around for a while. I don't know why it's being hyped up so much. I used to do this with the first generation of the HomePod. The problem is that Apple doesn't allow you to set up the arrangement. So they want you to use the speakers on the front next to the television. I personally prefer having the speakers on the back, but you can't really tell the Apple TV what your sound arrangement is. I hope they allow you to add more speakers, so you can add 4 speakers, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, maybe HomePod minis on the back. So you get like a home theater setup, which is possible because multi-room works really well on HomePods, and these manage that really well. Also, if you're using smart home devices, this will now support Matter. So if you have any devices that previously didn't work with HomeKit, and newer devices that are Matter supported will automatically work with the new HomePods as well. So what's the big deal? The big deal is definitely the price. When the original HomePod was launched in India, it was around 20,000 rupees. When it was being phased out about 2 years ago, it was 17,000 rupees. This is launched at 33,000 rupees approximately, which is nearly double. These are overpriced, but for the kind of sound stage that they give, for the kind of sound experience that you get, especially if you have 2 of these, they kind of rival really high-end speakers, and these will fill up a really large room very easily. In fact, one will fill up a really large room with sound very easily. So if you're looking for speakers on the higher end and you do have an Apple device, then just as a speaker in itself, it offers a lot of value from, say, a competitor high-end speaker. So this is significantly cheaper than higher end speakers, which can go into the lakhs of rupees. This rivals those. And trust me when I say this, you have to hear the kind of sound that it gives to really understand what you're experiencing. In fact, let me set up a demo right now where I'll show the first generation, the HomePod Mini, and this one. And I don't know if the audio will translate, but you can hear subtle differences in the sound quality, and the bass is just that much better. Not only is this a great speaker, it's a hub for all your home devices. And if you get into the other things where you can have personal requests and you can also control family things, and you can also sort of page people from this, you can also call people from this. And if you have these in multiple rooms, you can also have an intercom from one room to the other. All of those demos are on Apple's website. If you guys want me to do like an extensive demo thing with this, I can do that. So let me know in the comments below. But overall, I'm impressed with the new HomePod and the quality of overall sound with the kind of bass that you're getting from this small footprint is unmatched by a lot of the other speakers that are out there. And that's my opinion, at least. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like, hit the subscribe. This has been Bharat. I'll see you in the next one.